Hey there everybody, my name is Sebastian and today I'm going to be showing you how I go ahead and paint my Black Templars with this Intercessor model right here. So I think without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with the base coat for the miniature. So for this, nothing too special, it is literally just some Corvus Black from Citadel, running this through the airbrush. Now, the thinner for the airbrush is some Vallejo airbrush thinner. I find that Citadel paint or Citadel airbrush paint isn't really thinned enough for the airbrush straight out the pot, so it is always worth thinning it from the start. However, if you do not have access to an airbrush, what you can do is you can use either a rattle can or you can just brush it straight on. If you're going to brush it straight on, I recommend getting a big sort of brush. I know Games Workshop have some brushes. I'm pretty sure if you wander into your local store, they'll be more than happy to help you out with that, or if you really want to, a rattle can. Now, so for rattle cans, if you're going to be doing the same color scheme that I'm doing, the sort of grey bluey black, for that I can highly recommend Colourforge. More importantly, their Colourforge Raven Black. It is really good. And it also gives you a really nice color on the miniature as well, especially if you're doing large armies, so all like large squads, sorry, then a rattle can will be your best friend. But if you've got the time, space and money for an airbrush, I can highly recommend getting some. I'll have some links down in the description below for the same airbrush and compressor that I use, and they do the job fantastically. Maybe I'll do a video later on about my airbrush. Maybe that's something you guys would like to see, who knows. When it comes to the shoulder pads for this, I'm using Blinding Light by Army Speed Painter. Now, I really do like Army Speed Painter paints. That they are really nice, and they go through the airbrush really nicely as well. The only issue I find with them is having to clean the airbrush afterwards is just a massive pain in the ass. So I'm probably going to be moving over to Tamir White, their matte version. I think it's called XF2 or something like that. I did end up using the same white for my apothecary. It's a really nice, almost I like to call medical sort of white, that sort of more grey look to the white, and it made the apothecary come out really nicely. But any sort of white when it comes to the miniatures is always done with this. Now, if you don't have access to an airbrush, you can just paint it on. That is a good thing about speed paints, is you can just brush them on. As long as you get a few thin coats, there shouldn't be any issues. After waiting for the shoulder pads to then dry, I now move on to some dry brushing. Now, dry brushing is something that I've only recently started to do on my miniatures, especially the Black Templars. I find it gives a really nice accent to all of the edges of the miniature. Now, be careful when you do it. Don't go overboard like I've done. You don't want a lot on the brush. As you can see, I'm putting quite a lot on. In the end, it does look good when you've got the varnishes and all that sort of stuff on top. It sort of blends it all in. And I also find the Mechanica Standard Grey tends to dry a little bit darker. But yeah, I find it gives a really nice highlight to everything and just makes it look a little bit nicer. I'm not really a fan of doing edge highlighting, even though I have gotten into it recently and it is becoming more easier. This is a nice, quick and dirty way of doing it. So briefly going back to the shoulder pads, I want to give the shoulder pads a bit of a weather. Now for this, I'm using Absalom 502. This is a oil paint. I've recently got the idea from this from Cult of Paints. If you guys watch Cult of Paints, you know Henry loves to use his oil paints. And so I thought, you know what, it'd be a good idea to give this a go. And I originally tried this on a Imperial Knight. This was on Knight Dominus. Did all the armor panels in an oil paint, and it come out absolutely beautifully. So I thought it'd be a good idea to try it on my Black Templars, a couple months ago now, and it just works. It's really nice. So with this, I'm trying to get it into all of the recesses of the shoulder pad, trying to really get it everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So when we take it off, it has a nice sort of grungy look around the edges and recesses of the shoulder pad. And so after letting it sit for about a minute or so, I get in with a microfiber cloth and take the majority of the paint or oil paint off, sorry. A lot of people say let it sit for a couple of days, all that sort of stuff, but I tend not to. I quite like the look that I get from this. Taking it off straight away looks really, really nice, and you can still see that white. The main reason I'm doing the oil paints is so around all of the raised edges, so the Templar logo, the rivets on the shoulder pad, it gives a nice sort of shadow or grungy effect around the raised areas, as if it would have in real life, let's say. So keeping on the theme of shoulder pads, I'm now doing the edges of the pads. So for this, it is again Corvus black, and one reason why I liked the sort of oil paint I did was if I make a mistake when doing this part of the shoulder pads, you can't really notice it. And I love that fact. I love the fact that, you know, I get to sort of hide my crimes, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not the stablest person when it comes to doing oils, or sorry, doing painting, sorry. Now, one thing you could do if you are following at home, you could do this stage first. You could paint it white, do the trim, and then do the oils, which is probably a better idea than how I did it, because then you can really hide all those crimes per se. But you still get the same result anyway, than how you would if you did it one or two ways. Next, we are doing the metals. So for this, Iron Warriors and Iron Hands still are my absolute go-to paints when it comes to anything metallic. Now, for the actual miniature itself, so all of the parts on the power pack, the ribbed connectors between the joints, so the legs, the arms, and all that sort of stuff, I like to use Iron Warriors. It's a nice mix. It's a dark metal color, and that's what I like about it. That's what I'm trying to say. I like how dark it is. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like shiny metals, but I don't really want to have loads of shiny metals on the miniature itself. Weapons, that's not a problem. I do quite like shiny metal on weapons, but when it comes to the actual miniature, I think Iron Warriors is fantastic. Now, going on to the Iron Hands steel, I think again it's a good paint, but not really for the miniature. I think for weapons, absolutely amazing. It gives the weapon more of a pop, let's say, than what the Iron Hands could do. Especially paired with the corn red that I use on my Black Templars. A lot of the weapons on my Black Templars are done in corn red. We'll go into that later on. We won't go into that now. But it gives a nice contrast, I think the word is, between the red and the silver than the Iron Warriors would do. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're now going on to the weapons. For the weapons, I love to use corn red. I have experimented with other colours, more brighter and darker colours, but for me, corn red is that perfect mix of red for my weapons. I also use corn red on everything when it comes to my world eaters, which actually I probably will be changing, but that's a different video at a different time. I use it for capes, weapons, shields, sword brethren, shoulder pads. I also use it for my assault intercessors and their shoulder pads for the white trim around the edge. It is just a really nice, versatile paint, and I absolutely love it. Now, when it comes to the corn red, you do need to do thin coats or even water it down. Quite a lot of the time I end up putting a slight bit of water on my brush just to go back over the paint, because it's got a tendency to go quite lumpy if it's not to the right water to paint ratio, I guess you could say. But with the actual body of the weapon, I only really do the top of the weapon, or the upper receiver, sorry, the front little bit underneath the barrel, as you can see now, and then the little back part. I have seen some people, they do the whole thing in red, that's including the handguard. It's just not for me. I think the handguard looks fine in black. I have tried other colors in the past. I've tried purples and browns, grays, even silver, but I just think the black of the handguard looks absolutely amazing. And as I said earlier as well, Iron Hands steel for the metallic parts of the weapon really goes well with that corn red. When you see the finished result, in my eyes, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, if you want to go ahead and try your own recipes, then go and do so. Experiment with different colors, experiment with yellows, purples, blues, blacks, all sorts. I've got some weapons that are yellows, some that are black, and most, the majority of them are red. I do think yellow weapons do look really good with Black Templars. So maybe in the next timer or the next video or whenever I paint Black Templars, maybe we'll try some yellow weapons. So leather, there's so many different options for leather, everywhere from belts to weapon lanyards to mag pouches to tabards to capes to all sorts. Now for me, I like to go ahead and use Rhinox hide as a nice base to the color. I like my leathers to be more of a dark brown sort of and look almost. Then after that, I like to go ahead and do some highlights, some scratches, some scritches with Guthor Brown. Guthor Brown against Rhinox hide is a really nice color combination. I think it works perfectly together. It gives that edge of a worn leather look that you see on like belts and all sorts of other bits and pieces. But for Rhinox hide, it is a really good color, and it's something that I like to use on a lot of the tabards of my my miniatures. So as we come to the end of this painting project, I'm now doing all the edge highlights on the miniature. For this, I am using Astra Militarum Standard Grey. Again, like I said earlier, it goes really nicely, I believe anyway, with the Corvus Black. So with this, I'm using a really thin brush. This is one of my orange brushes, and yes, that is the actual name of them, by the way, if you were wondering if we want to pick some up yourself. This brush is only used for edge highlighting. I was never really an edge highlighting person until recently, and you know what, it's changed the way I look at my miniatures so much, and also it gives you can get some really nice detail on there, so scratches and scritches and blade marks and all sorts. It just looks really good, and I'm so happy that I was able to actually stick with it. So if you've been on the fence about doing edge highlighting, go for it, give it a go. All you need is a really sharp brush and just a little bit of paint. Edge highlighting on the weapon, unfortunately I didn't do that in this case, but normally edge highlighting on the weapon I end up using some resplendent red from Army Painter. I think that's how you pronounce it, and that is a really nice worn red. A lot of people tend to use orange or Mephiston red or something like that, but I find the Army Speed Painter paint really nice. And then finally, the base. So for the base, let me start off with how I've actually made the base itself. That is using some green stuff / Milliput. You can choose whichever one you want, or even mix them together, smishing it onto the base, and then using a 3D printed roller. You can get these rollers from Green Stuff World as well. Link for that should be in the description below if I remember. Rolling that over the putty and then letting it dry. I tend to glue the miniature straight to the base because it makes it easier to paint the miniature. And I go ahead and dry brush some Dawnstone over the top of the stone. Then for all of the dirt on the sides of the base, which I quite like because it gives that sort of mix between dirty ground and the stone. For that, I'm using Armageddon Dust. And then for the actual dirt color of the base, I use Tamir XF53. I absolutely love Tamir XF53. It is such a wonderful color. I've used it on all of my Knights and Titans, and it is my absolute go-to for any dirt weathering on vehicles or marines or whatever it is I'm doing. I tend to put a little bit on the bottom of the legs as well, just to make it look like he's been walking through the dust or whatever, or maybe he's got some dust on his legs. I used to use some, I think it was Vallejo Pigment Fix, but I swapped that out for this, as this just gives a better sort of look and ties everything together quite nicely. If you don't have an airbrush, Zandri Dust or Steel Legion Drab is another good way of getting the base color. and you might be able to dry brush / dab those two colors on the legs to get the same effect. And as for the very last part of this miniature, I go ahead and do a satin varnish with some Vallejo satin varnish. And with that, my Black Templar is finished. I'm really happy with this guy. Everything from the scratches to the base to the candles. I like the color design that I've got. Now, it does look a bit brighter on camera than it actually does in person. This is because of all the lighting and stuff that I've got over the desk. But apart from that, it's really cool. And hopefully it's giving you guys a bit of inspiration on how to do your ones. I would love to know how you do yours differently. Do you go for the classic Games Workshop black, or do you go for the more of grey blue of my ones? I would love to know what you guys think as well. Do you hate it? Do you like it? What would you do differently? I definitely think there's more to be improved on it. There always is, no matter what you say. I'm extremely happy with it. I'm happy with the metals, happy with the reds, the blues, the blacks, the leathers, they're everything. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. If you guys want, go and follow my Instagram, my TikTok. Everything for this channel will be in the description below. But until then, guys, I'll be seeing you guys later. Goodbye.